Hello everyone, nice to see you again. I thought that we would tie another fly, one more fly. This is the one we tied the last time, a Thunder Spey special as I call it, because I used dubbing in the little darker orange, this one. Now I'm gonna tie one of my own favorites that originates from one of my own patterns, the Sune fly, which is fiery brown, gray, and black, and then orange in the end. So let's see how that turns out. That one has been a really good autumn fly or late summer fly for sea trouts in Riverem and in my home river and everywhere I have tried it. My friends are catching good numbers on that fly too. Tied as a little winged fly, but this one will be the Spey version, which I will fish hard in Riverem when we have our days there. So here I use the Fitz tubing extra small bronze, which is the color I use on my Sune flies, and cut it at an angle so it gets easier to put on the turbo cone head we will use later on. And then we burn the little color to make a little stop on the fly, and that's not even, a little bit down on this side. That did not look as I want it to look, so I'll make a new one. That's good enough for me. And wait a few seconds for it to dry. And then I just put this on the vise. Like this, and then we will use a black 12-0 SSS thread on this too, and just attach this thread at the rear of the fly here. And on this one we will use the Nasty Rusty dubbing, which I use in my Sune flies, which is a fantastic color for the humus colored tinted waters, which most of my rivers are. Just start to wind that on back towards the little collar we tied, and I tie this pretty tight and not so far forward. I just make a little lump of it and then use the tip of my dubbing brush to get as many strands as I want to come out, and check so it's pretty evenly spread. That looks quite good. And cut the longest ones off because the hook will be somewhere here on this fly. And then we start with a fiery brown ringneck pheasant, and this will also be a quite big Spey fly. I will shoot when I tie a smaller one as well. Just cut that little triangle, tie it in on my side, and then hackle plier. And wind this on as close to the dubbing as you can. fold everything back. One turn. Two turns. And we will make 3 turns with this one. And then pull away the excess. Then I go 1 turn back to take away the same amount. And then we can lock it in the perfect place. Oops, that was something that fell. 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the first hackle. It was the scissors. And now I will put on a gray Heron hackle. I went to a flea market, which my son wanted to go in and have a look. He likes flea markets. And there was a box there that said fishing stuff with old lures and stuff. And I was just like, oh, well, I'll go and watch anything else. And he said, Dad, there's some feathers in here. I'm coming. And I was very surprised because it was a bag of gray Heron, gray feathers, about 50 of them for $1. So I was very happy when my son found these. So $1 for 50 Heron hackles, gray Heron, that's pretty cheap. And then they are not allowed to sell these anymore. So I was very happy. So now I can tie my own pattern because it includes a gray top wing on my Sune flies. So here I can use this gray Heron on my Sune Spey. And this one is a little bit shorter strands than the fiery brown feather. And I'll just wind this on for in front as close as we can, as always. The tighter the fly gets, the more durable it becomes, and it looks better too, and it swims better too, I think. That's 2 turns and 3 turns of this gray Heron. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I will use my little comb to see how it looks. This will also be a pretty fat Spey fly with a lot of strands. So, but this one will be good. And now I make a few turns with the black, because on the original Sune there's a black soft hackle. So with this one I will make 2 turns, which will be enough with the black one. And this is a ringneck pheasant, because my black Heron is gone long ago. One turn, and then just one more turn, and then we pull away the excess, and that broke, but it should not be a problem. I'll be careful now on the second turn here, like that. Lock this in, And we also tied that as close as we could. And now it broke, but it doesn't matter because I had locked it in before. And now we cut away this little stem there and this little stem here. So now I think it looks quite good already. And now we just need a front hackle. And on the original Sune, the first ones I tied, I used guinea fowl. But then after a while, I went over to tie it with these soft grizzly hen hackles. So which one do you think I should tie with? I tied with a guinea fowl on the last one, plus a soft hen hackle. So this one I will tie with a guinea fowl, and I take away all the strands from one side because then it's much easier to wind it on. Don't have to fold this stiff strands back. So I took away the strands on one side. So we make a little triangle of this too. Tie that in on my side. And now we want to cover this little part of thread with a guinea fowl hackle. And now you don't have to fold it back because there's just one side of strands. And we wind this on as close as we can also. I think that is enough, and then I pull away the excess and lock that in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I pull in the stem a little bit, tighten it even more, and then a little comb. And I think that the guinea fowl has a good spread. I want it to be symmetric, and that looks rather good, I think, in my eyes. And I hope the fish will like it. And now I will take 2 small jungle cocks in orange, because I think that they will fit this fly perfectly. And that broke as always. Tie this one in on my side and tie it in on the stiffer orange part. 1, 2, 3 loose turns. A little up, and then we take the feather for the other side, which I will use the same amount of feather and the same length. Looks quite good. And let's see if we can make it the same length. Put it in the same spot. It kind of disappears into the orange guinea fowl, so a little shorter. Try it that way. And loose turns. 1, 2, 3. And then we hold it up. And if they're the same length, I'm happy with that. Looking good. And now we cut off the small stems. And then I need a micro tungsten turbo in copper. And there I found one. So when we have put this on, the fly will be done. When we have cut up the extra small tubing and melted down the plastic just above the head, so a little glue on the thread, and now I wind this on as tight as I can with loose wraps like this. And now I take Niklas Bauer's pike tube as always, and I put my finger on the tube behind it, and then I just push this down like this, and then we cut off the thread a little closer than that, like this, and take this fly out of the vise. Check it out. It has a pretty good, nice spread, and it's pretty symmetric. And then I leave about 2 millimeters, and we melt that down until the plastic presses against the cone. Now I have to make a better hole, because sometimes when I melt it the hole gets too small. But here it is. Let's see if we can put this back on the vise. No, maybe. There we have the hole. And we give this Spey fly a little comb through to see if the spread is even around. I think it looks pretty good. Here it is, my Sune Spey fly, tied on extra small fitz tubing in bronze. And yeah, it's done. I hope you liked it. It's also a fast tie, and this is pretty discreet fly, and it matches humus colored water really well. And on a single-handed rod with a floating line or float intermediate line, this one is perfect for the slower water. So thank you for watching, and I hope you liked it. And I usually tie them with the Grizzly soft tackle. This one is tied like the first Sunes I ever made. I only had guinea fowl as a front tackle. So thank you for watching. If you want to subscribe to my channel, just click this picture of me here and hit subscribe button and that little bell so you get a notification when I posted a new video, if you like this kind of content, of course. Or click here on the square with another video if you want to watch more of my flies. And have a good day. Bye bye.